Hi guys, welcome back to Busy Girl Likes to Eat, in which I, your busy girl, goes to the internet and says, give me a recipe and be quick about it. I look for new fun recipes. I look for ways that we can kind of busy them up if there's any potential shortcuts there. And then I also try to prove they can be made in the average kitchen. Through all of this, my ultimate goal is to have the tragic cooking fail so you don't have to. So if you've been watching the show for a while, 3 episodes, you know that generally I make a dinner that's pretty large that can be made and then reheated throughout the week so you can be fed while you're busier. But this week it is the brunch episode. Brunch always cheers me up. Now don't get too excited because we really only need, in my book, 2 things for brunch, a breakfast meal and champagne. So our breakfast is going to be the IHOP copycat pancakes from the Life in the Loft house. I do actually like to cook and I've never made pancakes. So I'm just curious to see how this can work because I do have a general rule, which is if I can cook it better than I can buy it, I'll cook it. But if I can buy it better than I can cook it, I will be more than happy to give these people my money. And I don't know the answer for that for pancakes. I find that so many people don't know how to open a bottle of champagne, like so many. I think it's because like you watch TV and it's like, oh, there's a cork that goes everywhere, right? Like that's how it's supposed to go if you're opening it for the first time. I've seen people try to cork things and I'm like, you're gonna put somebody's eye out. There is a proper way to open a bottle of champagne. This thing, it just toots off like a doorknob, right? Now I like to use a towel just because you don't know if it's super fizzed up in there or anything. So if you just use a towel, you can capture any other moisture. But really, all you gotta do, and we'll leave that over here so it stays fizzy. It's not gonna go in anything except into me. Essentially, sifted flour is just like putting flour into a strainer and letting it come out that way. It's not that complicated. Baking soda and baking powder. Now, let's talk about it. Baking soda is a base. So think back to like 8th grade, like science fair, you make a volcano with a little bit of baking soda and some vinegar, which basically causes like the chemical reaction. And there's chemical reactions in food too. Baking powder includes baking soda, but it also includes dry acid and some other ingredient. Most often it's cornstarch. Since baking soda acts as a base and it reacts to any acid that it gets, and so one of our ingredients, we're gonna use buttermilk, is an acid, it reacts. Baking powder, since it's that combination, doesn't have enough baking soda in it by itself to give you the reaction that you want. And so when we have ingredients that have both, is essentially the ingredient is saying, hey, you need a leavening agent, something that makes it rise. Baking soda will do that, but you need more than that, so add some baking powder to it. Make sense? If not, go to Google. Google will explain it to you many times, probably much better than I did, because I'm just paraphrasing. We're also going to use buttermilk. Come here. I hate buttermilk. Or maybe I don't hate buttermilk, but I hate Big Milk or whoever is in charge of like the milk manufacturing business, that every single thing of buttermilk comes in a quart. Maybe you live in a place where you can get like a pint or something, but every single place that I went to 3 stores today. I went to 3 different stores trying to find something that was reasonably sized because I only need, what is it? 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. I have an entire quart. What do you do with this? Buttermilk doesn't easily go on anything. Tell me, what else do you use buttermilk for? So if you've seen episode 1 of Busy Girl, one of the recipe required like 3 tablespoons of buttermilk, right? So I read something on the internet that was like, hey, you can just freeze buttermilk. And when I opened it last night, it had a scent that felt unhealthy. I need someone to explain to me, why is it like this? It's upsetting, it's annoying, I hate it. But the recipe requires it, so I'm gonna leave it in my fridge after I'm done and hope, I don't know, something comes up for me to use buttermilk, but it won't because it's buttermilk. All right, so let's prep our ingredients. As you know, I'm a big believer in showing you what prep actually looks like because this recipe is allegedly promising that it's 10 minutes of prep and 10 minutes to cook. Those 10 minutes did not count the melting of the butter. It didn't. I guarantee you that it didn't. I mean, maybe it did, but it never does. So like I did in episode 1, this is like the easiest way to crack an egg because you don't have egg particles sliding all the way down your counter or your bowl. So just taking a fork, smacking it. And there you go, and no dropped shell. You're kind of just like scrambling it, kind of, right? Like, why can't you just use scramble the egg? Or is it only officially scrambled when it's cooking? Like, is scrambled like a cooked only term and like beating is a wet ingredient term? And this is not, see, the only thing that makes this slightly sort of kind of okay is most recipes are like 3 tablespoons of buttermilk. And then you go to the internet, you're like, substitute your buttermilk, and you have to like basically create your own science experiment. That sucks. That's how much buttermilk I need. This thing is full to about here. So this will now go into my fridge just to go bad and then later get thrown out by me. And I won't just throw it out right now because part of me thinks, hey, maybe I'll find a way to use it. But I know that I won't. In my heart, I know. But I'll try. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. So first instruction, in a large bowl, sift together flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I don't know why they ask you to sift them all together. This might look and feel unbusy because I can always just, you know, drop it in there. The reason I'm not doing that and actually doing the sifting that it asks for is that this is actually the one instruction that does help. Like, what I found is that when I actually sift the flour and the dry ingredients, there's less of a chance of those like kind of like flour balls, which you see, like if you bake before, you've seen that in a recipe where there's just like a little bit of flour either stuck to like the side of a bowl or like worse, you eat it and you're like, flour ball in your mouth. So this is the one thing that like, it feels unbusy, but I will never sacrifice busyness for tastiness because I'm gonna eat it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That feels like an 8th, it's fine. And again, most likely the salt was just added to bring out the natural flavors because flour is flavorless. You need some things. And just put it in there and you just hit it with your hand. Egg, retrieved from the refrigerator. Boop. Buttermilk, our 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. I know, we've talked about it. We've talked about it multiple times. I'm still mad. And I'll be mad every single time there's a recipe that calls for buttermilk. Whisk it together until blended. Did you see how it already looks blended? All right, whisked. Okay, so add to flour mixture, stirring only until smooth. Could I stir it beyond being smooth? This feels like more liquid than it is powder. Do I add it all at the same time? I'm just gonna add it all at the same time. When I was young and my mom used to like make cakes and she'd put me in charge of stirring the stuff, she would tell me to stir it until it didn't look wet anymore. And that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't know what only until smooth means. I'm like this close to grabbing my hand mixer. Okay, it's getting better, okay. Just a little patience that I don't have. I get bored doing this kind of thing. I feel like maybe there should be like a list of recipes in my collection that are like, hey, you're gonna get bored, have a glass while you have them. And just in case you're wondering, like, is brunch episode gonna include anything else? No, no. Brunch episode is champagne and pancakes. Butter, melted in the microwave. All right, stir that up a little bit. When you are adding butter, especially like hot butter to cold ingredients that have egg in them, you could kind of end up with scrambled eggs because it's super hot and it's gonna cook the egg that you had in there. Maybe melt your butter, let it sit for 5 minutes, which I kind of did just because I was doing some other things there, so you don't accidentally cook the egg in your mixture. Fun fact. Sugar and whisk until combined. I've decided that whisk means stir. Oh, I think we're gonna cook now. Yay. Okay, so heat a griddle, which I do not have, or a nonstick skillet, which I do have, over a medium-low heat. We are heating our pan to medium-low and on an electric stove. I don't know, is that 3.5? I said it's 3.5, I don't know. Let's find a measuring cup. So we're gonna just, how do I spread it? This is a 1/4 cup. All right. And it says drop it. So the middle seems like the best place for it to go. This looks like it's gonna be super messy. Already is. Okay, because this doesn't quite feel like a circle. And I don't know when it's 5 inches. And it's coming apart because I can see the bottom of the pan. That feels wrong. Brunch episode. I don't know how to do this, guys. So I kind of wish they said like how many minutes. Because like, you know, like when you cook eggs on like a cold pan, it takes it a minute, but on a hot pan, you move forward. I don't see this turning brown. I also have a ton of batter. Like, how many of these things am I supposed to make? This is also kind of feels like the ideal recipe to have brunch to, or rather prepare brunch to, because I can just sit here and delight in my tiny bubbles. Maybe, sorta. Oh wait, they're kind of looking brown. But is that brown enough? I get my pancakes from restaurants. I don't know. Also, it's been more than 10 minutes. I'm just saying. You know, like, you see how much I followed the directions to the T. I have so much batter. It can't possibly take less than 10 minutes to cook all of this because it's telling me to use like one at a time. If I had a griddle, maybe. I mean, if we talk about this guy. Oh, I definitely did that. Can you hear that, guys? It crunches. Just leave it up there. Oh wait, it smells like burning shit. Okay. All right. This is a golden brown. This smells more like a pancake than the other one did. The trouble is, I don't know what the bottom of pancakes should look like. I don't understand why they don't look the same on both sides, and it makes me think I'm gonna go to my local cafe, which thankfully is around the corner, and go get their pancakes and just check the bottoms first. Cause like, maybe this is what the bottom's supposed to look like. Hold on, it is supposed to look like striated and stuff. All right. Pancake 2. Pancake 3. I don't know how fast this happens. Well, it says till it gets golden on the side, but that one got golden on the side and it was burnt on the other side, so I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna flip it. That's not pretty. That's not golden brown. I'm gonna let that do that. I guess one reason to make pancakes, if they're your absolute favorite like thing to have for breakfast. Okay, see, it's happening here too, where like it's kind of, I'm gonna leave it there. Anyway, a local like major restaurant, they're like gonna be $5.99, $6.99, when really like pancakes are just flour, baking powder, and sugar. Like you can make 1,000 of them for like, I don't know what, like 10 cents a cake. But it does require that you can bake them. Okay, this one's done. Okay, so let's have a conversation. I think I'm gonna use more batter. Same basic cooking method. Just another dirty dish. Great. Okay, let's see, this feels easier to spread. I have no idea how long it's been. Like, I don't know. Just trying to make one decent looking pancake. I think this is my one halfway decent pancake. So the 5th one, it's still striated. A restaurant would never serve this to you. This is the last one, and you know what? I'm not gonna spread it out this time. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like I don't wanna spread it out this time, and we might as well see if that would have been better. So we're gonna let it chill. I'm so glad I decided to drink this episode. Again, I've got bubbles, but no brown. But if past is prologue, the bottom is brown. Ah! Damn it! What? It's golden brown! Don't spread it out. Use a half cup of the stuff and just let it be. Look at this, it's golden brown. You'd serve this to people. I'm so disappointed right now. And all I had to do was ignore the instruction. If it's the one good one, let's make sure not to burn it. Oh, and when you do that, the backside doesn't become striated. And it's thick. I knew it wasn't supposed to be striated. I knew those pictures I just found were freaking, well, it is kind of lopsided though. It's fine. That is a thick, juicy pancake. Let's see if I can do it again. I know I said it was the last one, and I meant it when I said it. But feel like maybe we can get 2 good ones. And we're just gonna leave it. It's not gonna touch it. This takes a few seconds to cook. And it's done. You can just tell. You can just tell the difference. Alrighty, folks. So we have made, what is this? 7 pancakes. Golden brown, but thin as a tortilla chip. It's called a Cajun brown. Pancake 3, where all uniformity of color left us. More darkened. I don't know what we'd say about this guy. It is the thickest of them all. Pancakes 6 and 7. That just came from me abandoning everything I was told to do in the recipe. So let's taste it. And don't judge me. Don't you judge me for using a steak knife right now. All my butter knives are dirty. All right, so just a little bit of thing on there. I spilled a little bit because I'm only having this one bite. And let's see how this goes. So it tastes like a pancake. I've never really thought about, like, I've just gotten a pancake and been like, yay, cake with syrup on it. But it tastes like a pancake. There's nothing to particularly like write home about. I probably should have had an IHOP pancake before I made this, since I was making the IHOP copycat. Can it be made in an average kitchen? Yes, like the ingredients are pretty freaking basic. You probably have all these ingredients in your kitchen. Worst case scenario, you have to go buy some freaking buttermilk and be irritated like me. The only potential challenge is really the amount of time that it takes, because using a skillet, you can only make one at a time. If you're only making pancakes for just yourself, you might want to have the recipe unless you're making it for multiple people. That said, you can also make all of them and then just freeze the rest of the pancakes, because it's bread. It freezes. It's fine. Can you shortcut it? Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Ignore the last step, okay? Just use a half cup and don't touch it. Let it move wherever it wants to move. Check it for brownness on both sides and be done. And is it delicious? It's not delicious enough for me to not spend money at someplace else that will make it, and will make it exactly the way I want it and probably put fruit in it for me. But like, if you really need to have pancakes, if you wake up and you're like, I gotta have a pancake and no place will deliver to you, like, yeah, it's an easy kind of quick go-to recipe that can be made. Just want to watch what the portions are of your batter and such. This has been Busy Girl Likes to Eat. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to try this recipe out yourself, check it out in the link in the description. Any comments, or if there are any recipes that you would like me to try to make before you make them, feel free to shoot us a note. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at BusyGirlLTE. If you want to write with any questions or anything you want me to respond to, feel free to send me an email at busygirllte@gmail.com. Till next time, peace.